Hello, I'm Jale. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be a general collective reading for the Galactic Center in retrograde, conjunct the South Node. It's going to be an interesting one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you've joined us, I appreciate you. Gemini's reading is going to be uploaded later on today, and it's an interesting one. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your like. Thank you for joining us. If you could drop a like on your way in, that would be awesome. Gigi, I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to wait for a few more people to come in, and then we'll explain what all that means, if you're not already aware. Nina, hi, I hope you're doing very well. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your likes, guys. I appreciate you. So we're going to be utilizing the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Okay, that's the first Oracle deck we're going to be using. We haven't used these for a while. But again, it's always through meditation. It was during my meditation yesterday, my research day that I took, and the weird information that was coming through. And I'm not joking you. Do you remember when I bought those? I told you I bought 9 notebooks. I was like, I'll buy one, and my guys were like, you need to buy more. And I was like, for God's sake, okay, I'll buy 9 because there was an offer. And now I'm like, yeah, okay, thank you. So is this why you're giving me this information, so I can fill all 9 at once? So my writing arm is killing me at the moment. Daniel, hey, so thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're doing very well. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting reading. So guys, thank you so much for liking. If you've already liked, I appreciate you. So we're going to wait for a few more people to come in. There's only sort of a limited amount of us at the moment. There's usually a few more of us. We're going to wait a few more minutes. So yesterday was very interesting. As I say, I took a research day, and I've got so many notes. Don't be surprised if this channel takes a very different turn over the next few months. That's all I'm going to say, because it's like I don't know what to do with all this information. I'm like, well, what do I do with this? How is this going to help people? But we're going to try and log everything so that we can piece it all together. Mark, hey, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're doing very well. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your like, guys. Got 4 in here and 4 likes. Someone came in, was obviously stealth mode, lurking in chat, and left. I know who it is as well, just in case they decide to pop back in. So if you've missed the first part, we're going to wait a few more minutes, but this is going to be about the Galactic Center that's currently in retrograde conjunction South Node, and we'll go into what that means in a sec, and also what this is going to mean for everyone. Rebecca, hello, I hope you're doing very well. Thank you so much for joining us. I think your name's either Greek or Cypriot. I want to say your name is either Greek or Cypriot. I've got all these messages for random countries. If anyone is Australian, can you message me later? And if anyone has family or people in Santorini, can you also message me? Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's wait a few more minutes for people to come in, and then we will begin. Let's have a look what all this is going to be bringing into our lives. Welcome, welcome. I am, thank you. Hope you and everyone else is too. I'm Greek from Crete. So you must know Taki's Shelter, the animal guy that I've been, I say that you know him, that sounds incredibly stupid, but isn't he from Crete? No, isn't he on the island of Crete? Maybe that's, in fact, this is the thing. I don't know, because obviously my background lineage is Turkish. So everyone that is in everyone knows everyone in certain areas, especially when it comes to like the actual province, or everyone knows everyone. Like even when I go to the kebab shops in London, they know my dad, and I'm like, this is insane. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but I think it's a kind of Greek Turkish thing. Oh, so now okay, so you do know him. Okay, awesome. Because can I just say something? I've been watching his YouTube, and I've been crying so hard. So you know the guy, do you? What a wonderful man. What a wonderful man. And I can only imagine the abuse that he's got, because again, I saw a video where he was saying, I'm trying to help animals and all I'm doing is getting abused online. I'm like, oh, relatable. Yeah, it is. I think it's a cultural thing as well. I think it's a cultural thing. I know a lot of Greek. I've got family that are Greek. I've got my aunt married a Greek man, so we've got a lot of Greek members in our family. I know his channel, not personally yet, unfortunately. Oh, you know his channel. What a wonderful energy. What a wonderful energy. Yeah, if you haven't seen that and you're a massive animal lover, I would definitely recommend it, although some of the it's very graphic. But yeah, his name is Taki's Shelter is the name. That's the channel I've been talking about. Okay, guys, so if you've just joined us, this is going to be a Galactic Center and Retrograde Conjunct South Node, all right? What does that mean? So the Galactic Center is the birthplace of all things, in my opinion, okay? Now, if I keep saying in my opinion to everything, it's because I don't know what this is, but we seem to be getting a lot of energies that are trying to add to my guides and my spirit team, but in the chat. So when I say in my opinion, it's because this is what my guides are leading me to believe, okay? Hey, Karen. Yay. Why did I feel like you said, thank God it's Friday? Did someone just say thank God in their head, thank God it's Friday? I don't know why I wanted to say that in my, someone's just either thought that or, but yes, I'm in agreement. Thank God it is Friday. Wow, this is so funny. Greeks and Turks do have a lot of history. He's such a pioneer and a wonderful role model. Yeah, oh, there's so much I could say about that. So my dad's ex-Turkish military, and I've got to tell you this, he got thrown out of the army because they asked him to do something in relation to Cyprus, and he was like, no. So rest assured, that's a very controversial subject, but I'm going to be honest. Yeah, he got thrown out. He got thrown out of the army for daring to stand the ground and saying, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's my dad's story. Well, part of my dad's story. There's so much more to it than that. Hi, can you ask a question? If it's to do with a personal question for a reading, then you can email me for a personalized reading. So Alexandra Lane. So what is the Galactic Center? The Galactic Center is anything that has been birthed in the universe, in my opinion. Okay. Oh yeah, my dad did. Me and my dad are cut from the same cloth. We're the same people. There is no one going to tell my dad. If someone is going to force my dad to do something, he's not going to do it. Yeah, he absolutely stood his ground. And the reason I know that is because my brother was in the army recently and did some digging. That's the only way we found out. But he was shamed for it. There was a lot of things happened after that. And oh yeah, he stood his ground all right. My dad's very much like that. You can book a personalized reading, Shining Moon. We're not reading about your ex today in a general public setting. So oh yeah, he marches to the beat of his own drum. And obviously you know how the army works, national service. They'll break you down until you say otherwise. They did it with my brother because my brother was in the Turkish coup, and they tried to do the same with him. And listen, I keep saying this, but people don't seem to believe it. There's something about my dad's side, and it's also my mum's side as well. We're not gonna fricking be told anything unless it's our guides who have been with us from the beginning, who have saved us, who have helped us, who have absolutely got the best track record on the planet. Nothing else is going to tell us otherwise, because unless the guides say, because they've proven the trust, okay, then we're not going to listen. My dad's very intuitive as well. So Galactic Center is everything that's been birthed in the universe, and the South Node is our karma, so our past lives, okay? It's the patterns of behavior, in my opinion, that have evolved from previous lifetimes, parallel lifetimes, however you want to view it. And it's our trajectory. It's our dictating our trajectory towards our North Node, which is our soul mission, is our destiny, or our path in this lifetime, right? Now, what does that mean? So Galactic Center, it was conjunction with the South Node. Something's being birthed here. Something's being birthed. It's if the Galactic Center, which is the birthing point of all things, is next to the South Node, which is about patterns and doing away with patterns and removal of old wounds and removal of old ways of thinking, believing, seeing, then we have got a motherload of blank canvases that we can be tapping into right now. Okay, now, because it's in retrograde, this hasn't been birthed yet. Now, you could sit there and go, oh, well, why are we not moving forward? Why are we not moving forward? Because blessing. This is the blessing I've been talking about. You know, I've been saying for months now, oh, there's a blessing coming. It's because we're paused for a reason, and you just keep an eye out for what's going on around you. There's a reason for this, a reason for this. I'm still getting messages, oh, well, just move on. You're not doing the right reading, and you need to be doing this, and you need to be doing that. And again, my guide's like, keep going, Charlie. And then I'm getting comments, I'm getting emails, I'm getting messages to force me into what people want me to do. Listen, you're unfortunately, unless you were there for my full part, near-death experiences, and you were my guide in that experience, then I ain't going to listen to that. Sorry, I'm going to listen to the guys who have led me out of danger, who have always been there for me. And this is the same thing, because it is for a reason. It's not me just spouting crap because I love the sound of my own voice and I want to look great on YouTube. This is for a very specific reason. It's to get us to where we need to go. So we're cutting out old cycles, we're closing books and moving into our destiny, which is a fresher energy of our greatest unlimited potential. Okay, now, because the retrograde of the Galactic Center, we're currently in it. We've been for the last 3 months, and we're not coming out of that until the 29th of November. The next few months, this is the starting point, okay? Because this is actually, we're at 0 degrees as it stands, all right? We're at 0 degrees. Now, we just so happen to have that in conjunction with my own natal Galactic Center, all right? Now, if you are on my generation, which I think probably latest up 1994, maybe a little bit later, up until maybe, I don't know, early 80s or something, then this is going to be of most affecting you, in my opinion. Okay, but again, you'd have to look at your own birth charts. I'd have to look at your own birth charts to really understand how that affects you. This is about when things go direct around the 29th, when we've got obviously the Mars going into retrograde in the 9th of September, we've got Jupiter going direct around the 19th of September, we've got Saturn going direct around the 29th of September, we've got Pluto going direct, we've got Neptune going direct. Once all of those things happen, we've got Mars going into retrograde, we've got Mercury going into retrograde. Once all of that energy happens, and when we get to the 29th of November into winter, when we get into the summer triangle and into winter, okay, this is going to be the starting point of when this new energy is birthed. Because again, Galactic Center, the birthing of all new things. Okay, so this is your heads up. Now, how long have I known about this? While, but I'm not going to tell you that, because I don't want to sit and be like in June, when all the focus is on the healing, to go, oh, everyone just quickly run to the end point on the 29th of November and not look around you, because that is not the point of these things. Me knowing this information is not meant to give you the kind of shortcut so that you don't do the work. That's not how I mean, to be honest with you, if I could, I would. I'm not going to lie. If I actually could, I would, but it's not going to help you, because all it's doing is it's not, you're neglecting the signs and you're not learning. Listen, I don't make the rules here. I'm just listening and I'm just observing what I'm told, and then I'm just giving the information out. All right, I don't make the rules up. Take it upstairs if you have an issue with that. All right. So what does that mean? Okay, so what does it mean for you? So any patterns of behavior, like for example, the dark night of the soul. If you're constantly in a dark night of the soul where you don't have answers, you don't know what to do, you've got no direction, you're not sure where to go, you're not sure why you're scared, you're not sure why you're this, you're not sure why you're that, you need to start looking at patterns that are still prevalent now. Okay, so move aside, because this is the thing, this is a dark night of the soul on a mass scale, right? And if you don't know what that means, it's you're being birthed. This is a rebirth, but it's not going to be da-da rebirth, fifth dimension, woo, let's go. Come on, we've got a whole collective to get through. That we're doing it in increments. This is the first part of that well, it's not the first part, but this is the most obvious collective succession of increments for this evolution, this ascension. All right, in my opinion, before I get some expert typing in my chat on my channel telling me that they're an expert, go and do that on your own channel, because I'm so, but everywhere I look and I'm seeing these absolutely so amazing, these healers, all of these light workers that are trying to help everyone. Everywhere I look at the moment, you've got experts and chats telling everyone what they should be doing. Can you go and help other people? Because this is what we need to happen. We're okay. Like the guy, everyone I'm seeing at the moment, all of these spiritual, you know, healers and light workers, and all of the channels and the lives that I'm seeing, there's these experts coming in and telling them what they should be doing. And I'm like, we need everyone we can get. Go and do this on your own channel. I don't understand what the lack of awareness is about this, really. So we're going to have a look at that today, starting with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Okay, this is the first card that came out. This is Order. Mark, I have to say it. You know what I mean? Like and this is the thing. I'm going to be really honest with you. I'm very in touch with my shadow side, just FYI. And so the next person that comes in and does that, I'm going to embarrass the fuck out of you, because this is what upsets me, is there's some very skillful and talented readers that I'm looking at live in different platforms that as soon as I go in, it's the same as happening to them, but on a larger scale. And I'm like, imagine going into a free reading and dictating that. Not that you can be happy in a free reading and just sit there and go, oh, wow, this is cool, or actually, this is not for me, let me leave. Imagine going in and saying, and I'm struggling to work out the wound that person would have to deal with, because it's clearly a wound if you're that determined to, you know, imprint your energy onto everything. Do your own channel. Great. It means one more person that can help people. Awesome. Let's go. Brilliant stuff. Happy with that, because it means that, you know, everyone is kind of doing what they can. Everyone's helping. I'm not saying anything, Mark. I'm going to let you determine what you need to be doing there. So this is about order. This is about, and it looks all very kind of neat and tidy. Can you see here? It's interesting that you've got the sun here, isn't it? Very interesting. You've got the kind of sun here. Keyboard warriors. I don't even know if it's that. It's bizarre. I don't even know if it's that. It's just, it's like weird. I can't work it out. And then we've got practicality in the reverse. Okay, so how can we live in an environment that is in a different evolutionary energy when we're still carrying rucksacks of old wounds? This is what we're kind of leaving behind. It's really interesting. I always try, and when I'm meditating, when I can, I know I've done a bit of shadow work or something, I always try and realign with the highest timeline I can to really kind of push that energy forward. And I did another one today. It just makes me laugh. And I was like, oh, I'm going to have a look. I don't know why I need to do this, but I'm going to have a look at 2032. Don't know why. Just started having a look into 2032. Just like thought, going to be a bit nosy, see what's going on. And I was like, yes, I like this energy. I like this energy. So rest assured, all those people. South Node, past life energy, conjunct galactic center, rewriting things. You determine what you want to determine from that information. This is about removing old patterns, old cycles. Okay, now how does that affect you? So for example, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. If there's something you're not happy about in your life, this is the time when we're evening that out between now and November. All right. So the last couple of months has been a pause to kind of shed and sort of catch up with our emotions, because don't forget, the large majority of people don't meditate, so they're not in that mindful energy. So now they've got their attention. Now they're going to show mirroring of certain situations so that we can go, right, now we've got conscious awareness, we can release it. Because don't forget, healers, when they're releasing all this energy, that's lovely, but what about the conscious awareness? How are people going to block a pattern developing unless this person is consciously aware of what they're releasing? They're not going to. This is what spirit are trying to do. They're trying to level up people. So it's not just the energy release, it's the conscious awareness. That's what awakening is. You have to be consciously aware that they're going to do all this work in your sleep, for sure. But that's why there was a lot of this, your body having these kind of very strong energies. Like, for example, if you've needed more sleep, because it is, you're being worked on in your sleep. Your kind of DNA is having an upgrade. There's a lot of upgrades happening, but you're also being shown certain energies. Like, for example, when I did the meditation and got shown freaking 648 AD, I was like, okay, awesome. So clearly I've got to look at something from that's mirroring now, right? And they're like, yeah. So for those who aren't in that position to do that, look at what's happening at the moment in your current lives, okay? For example, if you feel like you need to be doing something and then you're saying, I don't know if I want to do it, don't worry too much about doing it, but look at why you're worried about doing it or why it's blocking you, because that's going to give you more information. Let's say, for example, if you're having issues around family members, friends, okay, is it karmic? Because it could be that they're trying to get you to look at this issue to be resolved for when these next few months move forward, that actually that could be a sticking point or a block into your new energy. All right. But this is about rebalancing the physical, order, practicality. They're saying at last that they've been trying to get, I mean, obviously everything's divinely guided, but there's a lot of energies that they've been trying to get attention and sort of directing that energy. And this is the time to do it. Now, interestingly, this is Moon in Capricorn and Moon in Virgo. Now, it's interesting that we've got currently the Sun is in Virgo as it stands at the moment, and we've got a large body of planets in Capricorn. Now, in fact, the Galactic Center and I think it's going to be different for everyone, but let's just be realistic. The Galactic Center and the South Node is currently in Sagittarius, okay? So Sagittarius is about the philosophical ideals. It's about higher learning. It's about religion. It's about that kind of old, wise, I'm going to be really honest with you. Like, I've been listening to this in bed, and I think that's possibly why I've been dreaming about all these like kind of different Chinese situations. So my night listening is called The Book of the Way by Tao Te Ching, so Lao Tzu. I highly recommend it, and that's what I'm listening to. Now, okay, you might sit there and go, well, why aren't you reading it? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I want to rest my eyes and just take it in. I don't want to be sat reading it. Sometimes I want to just meditate while I'm listening, and that's what I do. Now, it's actually that prompted them to kind of get me to look at this, because it's all one and the same thing. Because of my past lives in this region, in China, all right, and also my lineage in this lifetime. So, bottom of the deck, exaltation. Exaltation is an energy. Can you see here, like this, for example, the sun in the moon in Cancer? It's a position or a planet that is most suited to that energy. So the circumstances are primed for this evolution. We're in a prime position to do this at the moment. If it had been any other time, it wouldn't have worked. That's how I'm reading this. And again, just like everything what I'm saying to what my guides say, of course, if you're getting different information, you don't have to sit and type it and go, I'm getting different information, I'm getting this. Please, by all means, log that somewhere else so everyone else can listen to that. But do it, yeah. So, exaltation. Can you see that we've got the very cornucopia energy here, that kind of plentiful energy, that abundant. Now, because obviously the North Node is in Gemini, which is learning, North Node, our destiny, our kind of what we're aiming to do, our soul mission is learning. That's why we're being schooled, and it's been that way, and it will be that way up until December 2021. We're being schooled. This is the University of Life that we're in, okay? And it's kind of at that point where it's not just going to be those who want to evolve spiritually, it's everyone that's being put into that, because the actual energy on the planet, that there's a tipping point, essentially. It couldn't have gone to any further point, let's say, and so it was designed at this time. It was always recorded to be at this time. All right. Let's see what else they want to tell us here about the situation, Spirit. Innovation. So this is why we're in this energy. This is about new energy. This is about birthing the new. We cannot birth the new unless, if the old's still not aware, you're not aware of the old, how can on earth can you birth the new, right? How can you understand where you've come? If you don't know where you've come from, how can you know where you're going? That's essentially what it is. Now, if you're studying psychotherapy, you are a psychotherapist. That is rule 101. Whenever you're doing any counseling or therapy, you look at the past, the present, then the future, or the present, the past, and the future. All right. Because you have to understand why certain things. And this is what this energy is kind of giving. All right. And you see, you've got the Ankhs here as well. This is very strong Egyptian type energy. And can you see, we've got Aquarius and she's fishing. The age, this is, in my opinion, the age of Aquarius. All right. And then you've got Jupiter in Aquarius. Now, Jupiter's currently in Capricorn and it's going to go direct on the the 13th of September, okay? When it does, January time next year it's gonna slowly fall into Aquarius. So can you see how there's increments of these kind of pause, stop, start, stop, stop, where it's like we're building, we're releasing, and we have been doing to sort of build what we need. Winter, very strong hibernation energy where we're kind of bringing in what we need, ready for that energy to be released. So, for example, people say to me, oh, your subscribers aren't going up, this is not happening, you're not doing this, and why don't you just change the way you're doing that? And I tell you what, I'm like, were you there when I had my near-death experience? Because it's a shame that you're giving me this information now when you could have been helping me when I was dying. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it pisses me off so much, because I'm just like, why suddenly now are you helping? You know, this is the thing. This is why another reason I did this channel is because when I was in that energy, no fucking knew what they were talking about. Sorry to be swearing, but it pisses me off. My guides are all laughing now. They're saying it's true, but they're laughing at me, so it's fine. I'm happy for them to laugh at me. It's kind of funny, to be honest, but it's to lighten the load a little bit, because they know that they know why I'm laughing. But anyway, we're all laughing together. When we get into February, we've gathered certain energies that we've needed. We've gathered certain things that we've needed, and we're off. It's like, has anyone heard this? I don't know what it is. They keep showing me all these kind of different things at the moment, and it's always for the readings. I'll be honest with you, they always show me these things. I'm like, why are you showing me this? And then I'm like, oh, I get in a reading. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. So I was shown this Japanese documentary about, I think it's maybe 8-year-olds, 7-year-olds. When they're young, they go to school without their parents. They leave their home and they travel via different methods of transportation to their school at a very young age. They're very independent. I think it's from an old saying of, if you love your child, you allow them to go on an adventure. It's something, I'm paraphrasing, it's probably not exactly the words, but that's their mindset. Now I'm like, this is very Asian, because for me as a female, this is what my mum was like. She was like, drop me at a train station at 8. And even my mum's goddaughter was like, are you going to leave her here? And mum's like, yeah. And that's it. You just find your own way back home. And I remember watching this documentary thinking, this is like, my mum's not Asian, but because she married my dad at a very young age, it's clearly ingrained in her mind, that kind of energy. But it's true. You gain a lot of independence that way. And actually, I've got to thank her for that, really, because to be honest with you, I'd prefer to be that way than to be the other way, like my brother. Because that's like a different level of interesting. But yeah, so they just let the kids go off and wander around. And I remember they were showing this Australian little girl that was, they asked her, Dad, are you going to let your girl do that? And he was like, no, absolutely not. And I get it, it's a different culture, but it's about, they just say it's about birthing new life. But the reason I'm talking about this is it's the learning process. This is about learning. So if you feel like you're alone, if you feel like you're not gaining that support, it's because you're going to be learning a lot. It's not, and this is the thing, in my period where there was points where I had extreme dark nights of the soul, in fact for 3 years at one point, all right, it's very difficult to connect. It's very difficult to connect to your guides and stuff and your team, because again, it's the same energy. It's to learn how to, number one, to cultivate faith, all right? But it's also to lead you into the next point. It's a learning period to get you into this next chapter so you're equipped. It's the same thing as what I've been saying about the twin flame journey since last August, which is you have your own journey, and then when you've met that end point and you've evolved to the point where you can bridge the gap, then there's a kind of a union. But you have to come into union with the self first. This here is helping you come into union with you. So when you're in union with you and you're balanced, then your guides are like, right, now we can help. Because your guides are not meant to tell you in my opinion, your guides are not meant to tell you absolutely everything. Sometimes, in my opinion, you've got to do your own work, right? Now, this is going to be controversial, but it's how I've learned, all right? My guides are like, you wouldn't have listened anyway. I'm like, that sounds accurate, yeah. So sometimes they leave you to do it. So if you're very stubborn like I am, and you're very determined, and you've always from a very young age been extraordinarily independent, sometimes they'll leave you alone a little bit to find out what you need to be doing, okay? And it's not to make you feel like you're freaking rejected and abandoned, although if you are, then that could be them trying to teach you about a wound that you have, all right? But these are all the old things that are being cleared, because don't forget, the next stage you're going to have, it's like everything, you're going to always have people that are moving. It's like we're in our own path, and we're moving on our own journey, but we're all in different stages. So when we're moving up, it's like there's like a little conveyor belt. So what is going on in your life at the moment? Are you struggling with money? So are you giving to yourself? Are you struggling with friendship groups? Are you honoring yourself? Are you struggling with your life path? Are you honoring what you love? Are you honoring you? So it's like anything that's going on, bring it back to you. And it sounds ridiculous, but I'll give you an example. It could even be that you're not to do anything. You're to let the dust settle. Now, if you're like me and you've gone on one hell of a journey for the last 3 years, you know, the message could be that you're to do, when you're guided to do little bits of research, but you're also to rest, because you could have been through a hell of a lot. And it's like they're trying to let the dust settle, ready for the next stage. Because don't forget, they could be telling us to rest and recuperate, because they know this is the eye of the storm, which means the rest is coming up. That's going to be very fast paced, because in my opinion, it will be, from where I'm looking. And I know I'm not reading from the cards again, before some smart aleck writes in the comment, I don't need to learn or read. Anyone who's had a personalized reading from me knows I don't read from the cards. I go directly to my guides. The reason I do it on YouTube is because it's visual. It's a visual. I'm saying it, and then the visual confirmation. The visual confirmation comes, so it's a double confirmation. And also, some people enjoy the visual as opposed to the auditory. Okay, and it makes people understand better. This is Saturn in Capricorn. This is what we're in at the moment. How ironic that card flew out. Again, my guides are a little bit extra. So if they start doing some dramatic kind of energy, number one, it's because I'm very dramatic, but also because they like to get people's attention a little bit. This is what we're in. We're in Saturn in Capricorn. Can you see the star? And can you see he's holding the cornucopia, which is abundance? And do you remember the last time we did Ladies' Night, and I was talking about the sunrise, the sun rising, and all this lovely treasure? Get ready, guys. Get ready. Saturn is going direct 29th of September. Get ready. Because this is the thing, riches is energy. It's abundant energy. Money, the physical. It's a reflection of your energy in a direct manifestation in front of you. So if you've cleared yourself out and you're ready in this very pure form, ideally as pure as you can get on this planet, because let's be realistic, we know we have physical bodies, which is why it's very important to kind of, focus on that in Virgo season. because this is what it's preparing us to do, and especially because of now. So we'll look at the mirrors around you. What is it you're being reflected to do, or what is it you're being shown to do? Because look, this is what they're preparing us. If you felt like you're just like, you know, sat here and there's nothing much moving, this is coming. And he's got the horn again with the sun rays, with the clouds. Now, how many times have we channeled that? The sun, the differences and the changes in the sun. The sun is a portal. Of course, it's going to shift and change based on now. If you want to be very, very, very kind of, you know, specific, I believe that the extinctions that we've had from different ages is based on the differences in the sun, which is, of course, why now we're seeing differences, because the sun has shifted. There's a different energy. The sun is, because it's a star, isn't it? The sun is a star. All right. So the star, the sun, obviously is going to shift in energy. Of course it is. It's like anything. We shift. And how does that shift from the central sun? And how does that shift from the galactic center? It's like this kind of domino, in my opinion. It's like this is going to be literally every video me going in my bin with a freaking, in my opinion. So sad that I have to even do that, because I feel like have we not got past that point yet, you know, where it's like everyone has to know everything. It's just like, I don't know, I don't get it. So can you see at the top here, we've got what looks like the Wheel of Fortune. It's not, it's a seal. It's actually a seal in the clouds. This was written. We are exactly where we need to be. So if you're sat there going, oh my goodness, I feel like I don't want to be doing this, and I don't want to, this is really depressing for me, or I don't know what this is trying to show me, you're getting clues. You are getting clues. Okay. So for example, my recommendation, especially in the next few days, because this conjunction is only going to be from the last couple of days until the next few days. All right, so pay attention to what you're being shown. Have a think after this video, the last 3 days, what you were doing, what happened, any out of the blue things happened to you, because they're trying to show you, they're trying to help you. And then also the next few days as well, because the moon's also just passed. So we've had the last few days. Now, last night, you'll be able to tell me this. Who last night felt like their heart was being absolutely purged dry? I was literally absorbing every energy that possibly has ever been on this planet. And I was like, because I'm like a recycling center, and I was absorbing it all, and I was like processing it and removing it. It was like ridiculous. Who else felt that last night? Now, obviously, we've had the Schumann resonance that's really kind of got very, very strong energy the last few days, which does affect the Earth's heartbeat, which affects everyone's energy, which then affects us and our kind of electromagnetics. Okay, that's, you know, definitely one thing. But who last night had that a very intense emotional, like you felt like you were being stripped bare? And again, if you haven't had, me too, Mark, me too, all right. What I want you to do is, I know it sounds ridiculous the way I'm going to say this, and of course, like anything, if you feel like you are in need of medical assistance, then I have to advise you need to seek medical assistance. However, my opinion is you need to, when you're having these kind of energies, surrender, because this is, it could have been, because don't forget the moon was in Capricorn, which is usually very heavy energy, heavy and emotional, heavy and very emotional. Okay. Like it was trying to provoke a bit of fear, maybe, because that's how it was to me. I had it too, but I still have a lot of surrendering and work to do. Not this night, was the night before, nearly no sleep at all, and the heart pumped weird. Yes. Yes, I was up for hours last night doing all my healing on me. Oh, do you live with a nurse? Do you? Awesome. It's a heart awakening. It's a higher heart awakening, in my opinion. Now, this is how I'm reading this. This is how I'm, obviously, just, you know, trust your own instincts. Right, the night before was mad. This is healing. anything that you feel that was let down, that was upset, or that you didn't have you had unanswered questions for, that you hadn't resolved, or you felt like you couldn't let go of, that was the kind of focus that they were telling. Now, this is the thing, it's very difficult when you're in that energy to get a connection to your guides, because for me, what they were doing is they were, because this is the thing, I felt like I was it's a test, and it was done to test to see if I was going to get scared. Because I mean, they really they really went to town. All right, now again, it was a test. It was a test for me, in my opinion, because it's very easy to, if you're in fear, to lower your vibration. Very, very easy to do that. And then, of course, how can you then release energy if your vibration's low? All right, so just be aware of that. Me too, connected with the whales very strongly. So this is what I do. I was working a lot with my heart chakra, like especially around the chest. It's very easy to kind of fall into that fear energy though. And of course, the physical symptom is, you're just kind of like, well, what's going on here? What's going on here? You've got to remember, if there's any parts of that energy there that are dark, or you haven't released fear, you haven't released guilt, any hurt, pain, darker energies can attach to that. All right, lower vibrational energies can attach to that. All right, so you've got to remember, if we're in a manifestation period where we're in a blank canvas and we're about to release, to get to this beautiful cornucopia type energy, which is bliss and abundance and everything, abundant energy, would make sense while we're in a dualistic energy to restrict that. With, again, it was Capricorn. It was a Capricorn moon last night. Last night and a half, 2 nights have been Capricorn moons. So just bear that in mind. Now, if you didn't have that, the chances are probably now we're about to go into Aquarius, will probably ease off a little bit. But don't forget, we've got the 2nd of September, the full moon coming up. So what I want you to do is, I want you to, because this is linking in with the 2nd, and then we are going to do a separate reading for the 2nd, but I want you to link in and be aware of that. All right, because the more we're releasing, think about it, the more light we can anchor here on earth. And if we're scared and we're not releasing anything, and we're not, it's prime position to kind of hold on to old energy and therefore not welcoming the new, because you've got to free up some space. This is essentially what this whole thing is asking you to do. No worries. So yeah, I mean, it was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was sat there going, have we not, is this all you're gonna do? Like, what else do you know, when you just kind of think like, because I know when someone's deliberately trying to scare me, I've had it for many different times, and it felt like someone was trying to like trigger me into getting really angry or scared, and I was like, and that's why I'm like, oh, is this what this has been for, where all these idiots are coming on to chat and starting acting like a damn fool? Is this what this is this what this is for? Because it's starting to make me think that was what it was, because it's trying to get you to react in a way where you're standing your ground. And trust me, they know me enough to know that I'm going to fucking stand my ground. Like, you know what I mean? I'm Turkish, let's be realistic, and also half English. We know about colonialism in England, and also we know about how the Turks operate. So it's been built into me. And FYI, my bloodline is Genghis Khan. So, this is just, be aware of not buying into that. In my opinion, there's a little cheat, almost, a little kind of, we're about to release a lot of energy, and I'll be honest with you, the earth is as well. So just be aware of that. And like I said, for me personally, I mean, to be honest, I just talk to my guides. If I'm honest with you, I wasn't that scared last night because I wasn't in that energy. But if I'd have been in a mindset that was not in the mindset I was, then that probably would have been very tough for me. but it's a purge. It's meant to release everything. Now you could sit there and go, well, how could they let this energy do this to us? It's to help us release. Think about it. It's like putting a load of boulders on someone and asking them to walk a mile, and then coming back and then going, right, how did you do? And you're like, oh my goodness, it was awful. And then waiting a couple of years and then putting a load more boulders on and then doing it again and saying, how did it go? And then you saying, well, actually, it was better than the first time. They're trying to, listen, you got to remember, it's heart awakening. And they crack you open sometimes. And it sounds awful, but it is true. Sometimes they crack you open, all right? And that's not meant to scare people. That's meant to understand that there's muscles and there's certain energies that we haven't used since we were souls in the spirit realm, that our bodies are not used to, that our bodies are working into kind of getting an idea of getting used to that energy. So if our body's having these symptoms, it's usually because we're getting into a different energy, which is good. All right. But again, I have to say, if you've got any concerns or medical conditions, seek medical advice. For me personally, it's not medical, because I'm in contact with my guides and they're just sat there going, Jala, you know better than this, just surrender. And I'm like, right, okay, I'm going to surrender now. Do you know what I mean? Stop fighting it. Stop. They're like, for God's sake, just stop. With like 7-year-old me in a dentist chair, you know? They're like, for God's sake, Jala, just stop fighting it. I'm like, right, okay, go on then. Up to you. Trust. Don't forget that surrender experience I had where I went inside. I went so far inside, I went in the earth. New experiences every day. There's new experiences every day. Once this has been mastered and ourselves have been mastered, this is when the good stuff comes in. This is when the good stuff comes in. And can you see Cupid there? Cupid's about to go direct. Cupid is literally about to go direct on the 30th of September. So we are being cracked open here, ready for all the past life, parallel lifetimes that we've had mirroring going on, where we couldn't get to the point we wanted to get to, where we couldn't get the person we wanted to get to, where we couldn't get the job we wanted to get to, we couldn't get the abundance we wanted to get to. This is moving out. We're coming out of that phase and we're going into the new phase, which is alignment. I mean, you're very polite. I'm usually just like, fuck off, you know. Yeah, I mean, that's a different kind of energy. It's like the earth is also being, because our vibration is getting higher, we're anchoring energy into us, which is then anchoring it into the earth, which is then releasing old energy from the earth, which then comes back to test our boundaries. And so if your boundaries aren't great, then yes, it will be difficult to kind of no. If you've got very good boundaries and you're honoring yourself and your energy, then yes, exactly, they will just leave, because they know on the 2nd in Pisces, which is a completion of one full rotation before it goes into Aries, is a full stop into the last 8 months that we've been in this kind of weird energy. So please monitor. And if you know that you do have health concerns, please ask for nurse practitioners or people have a backup plan for example, geranium oil. I use geranium oil. I'll play Solfago music into my room. I'll use sage. All right. It's like they shrug their shoulders and say, well, I only wanted to try. Yes, because you have to honor your boundaries. If your boundaries are wide open with people, if you can't say no, if you're crap at saying no, and you're sat doing a live free reading and then some dickhead is in the chat telling you to pull a card, and then you're just sat there going, okay then. And then, you know what I mean, you're not saying anything, then obviously that's your prime freaking example of what energy is going to come to you, because you're sitting open at like an open book going, okay, bring it on. But if you're saying, this is my boundary, this is my line in the sand, and you dare cross it and then they still do, then that's an issue for them. But yeah, of course they try, of course that's what they're designed to do. They're designed, not all of them, some of them are a little bit lost, but some of them, that's 100% what they're designed to do. We're in a dualistic, this earth is not heaven. We're not in heaven. We're in a three-dimensional reality still. So we have light and dark. So if we're evolving and shifting, again, Gemini energy, and again, the opposing of the Gemini energy would be South Node, which, considering it's in the Galactic Center conjunction at the moment in retrograde, is like we're going backwards a little bit to make sure everyone's learning things. Hey, Mia, I hope you're doing well. No worries at all. But yeah, this is kind of, again, it's all these little tests that you wouldn't maybe have previously fallen foul with. You know, it's 100% testing that. We've got authority in the reverse. So it's you being in sovereignty with the self and making sure that you're in alignment and releasing what you need to release. All right. Inheritance in the reverse. These are patterns of behavior that we've carried through. This is Saturn in Scorpio. I'm getting a lot of head. Someone's been over worrying about something here. Someone's over worrying. Got a lot of activity around my head. That's very Gemini energy, very Virgo energy. Release. If you're worried about the small details and you're worried, and that Virgo energy is very much about worrying about small details, you're probably, again, in this little trap at the moment of previous patterns of behavior that you haven't fully worked through. They're showing you everything so that you can understand that. Yeah, so same. Even I have to sit there and go, Jolly, come on. You know, they're trying to see. So, for example, if you're used to overeating, if you're used to eating food that is not good for you, then that's going to be coming up at the moment. If you're used to physical pleasures, anything physical, decisions. Gemini, this is Gemini energy, Mars and Gemini. The old or the new way? What do you want, the old or the new way? I keep hearing abandonment as well. Someone doesn't feel like they're listened to or heard, or they don't know where they fit into the universe. You've got a very important job in the universe, otherwise you wouldn't be here. You're needed. Someone feels like they don't know why they're here. Put it this way, the old is blocking your vision. The old energy is blocking your vision. But we have to release that old before we can see through that, because you have to learn. It's like riding a bike, you know, until you're doing it a few times and you know how it feels and you know what the balance side of things. This evolution, I mean, you've got to remember, every time we've had ascension, or if you've been in a position or an incarnation where you've had an ascension, we're not going to have remembered that. A lot of us aren't. So this is, again, very new. We've got to be a bit kinder to ourselves here. All right, we've got to be a little bit, even though my cards are like freaking brutal. So I apologize for that. But it's because they know that, especially people watching, in my opinion, watching this, usually very, very, very highly evolved energy, usually, that either are just about to understand what they're here to do or know what they're here to do, and they're just kind of in this little respite period, let's say. I just keep hearing, don't be ashamed of who you are. Someone's worried about being so different. Here we go. And then we've got submission and concentration. That just struck my heart and made me cry trying to figure it out. Bless you, Susan. You'll get there. It's a step-by-step process, and there's no there's no rule book, essentially. Even my guides, sometimes they just turn around to me and go, Charlotte, we don't know what to say to you. And I'm like, what? And they're like, this is up to you to figure out. And it's usually because there's something they can't tell me about. All right. Can you see there's a star in the middle of this cobweb? Something's being built very perfectly here for you to get to. This is design. This is a grand design. The universe is a grand design. If you look at the universe and how it's molded, it's perfectly geometric usually. If you look at the Fibonacci swirl or the golden ratio, everything has been designed perfectly, including where you're at right now, because it's trying to get you to see a certain thing or understand a certain position. Submission, surrender. The bird is in the cage, but the door's open. It's perspective. And then we've got Venus in Pisces. Okay, so this is Venus energy. And of course, it's like in this kind of area where there's this like little curtain here. Pisces energy is very much swimming against the tide. This is about removing programmed responses to things. This is exactly that kind of energy. So the programmed responses would be growing up, how your parents sort of asked you to be. And again, how you're then molded and, you know, the things that maybe you rejected against yourself, about yourself, or the things that you embrace. This is about a correction of all that as well. And not just that, but past lives. So it's such a huge amount that we're purging. Now, for me, my understanding is that if you are extreme in an extreme energy of that, where you're having physical symptoms as well, you've got a big job. I'm not gonna lie. If you've got an extreme of that, just because you're here, you've got some extreme ability. My guides are like hardcore. And possibly because of the fact that of your proven ability as a soul, you came to do the same because of your track record or what there's some very strong warrior energy here that I'm reading for. Very strong warrior energy, you know. But this is about being offered the freedom to decide and choose, because it's free will. Do you choose to free yourself, or do you choose to stay in a kind of reality? Again, it's purging all of that as well. Given a secondary option, what do you choose? Given a third, fourth, fifth option, what do you choose? This is me, resistance. Taurus, Mercury in Taurus. What old tried and tested ways have you resisted evolving into? Now, I'll be really honest with you, 1000% my weight. At the moment, that is definitely my pattern that I am going to be apart from my work, that I want to focus on, because I know as a Taurus, you know, sun sign and also Venus in Taurus, that I enjoy my food. And look, I smile when I talk about it because I love it, you know what I mean? Like, it's obvious. If my sister was watching this right now, we have the funniest story to tell you about that, but it's maybe I'll tell you at the end if I remember. It's such a funny story, but every time we talk about it, every time I say it's really funny, you're probably gonna listen and be like, that's really not that funny. I guess you have to be there. What are you resisting change? I mean, look, Taurus energy is very resistant to change. My dad's a Virgo as well, so he's extremely resistant to change. You know, I've got 2 brothers that are Tauruses as well. Wow, look at this energy here. Look at what we're welcoming in: enterprise and riches. Some of you guys have got some insane abundance coming. Insane. Let me switch up the cards. The Kipper deck. Let's go with the Kipper deck. Right, so what is this situation here, Spirit, with the Galactic Center, South Node, conjunction. What is this bringing in? What is this bringing in? This is right. Okay. The union of the self, which leads to the union with the other. This is what this is. This is the kind of, and you'll probably sit there going, well, I thought you just said that, you know, this is what we're supposed to leave behind. You are. It's in order to totally surrender. You can't just be like, it's like when you go to sleep on Christmas Day as a kid, Christmas Eve, and you're like this, waiting for Father Christmas to come. He's not going to come. All right. Doing this is not going to make this person come. All right. And again, if there's kids watching, I'm not going to say the full thing there, but you know, never know what's going on with children watching this. So anyway, so just surrender. Yeah, man. Mark, I'm with you on that. Those emojis are making me hungry. Right, let's go with the island time wellness because they keep showing me these relationship vibes here. So what is it you're trying to tell me here? So the Galactic Center. I don't know why I keep getting this energy. So we've got the snake here. This is going to be for someone. Competition, enemy, clever, malicious, look over your shoulder. Oh, lovely. The other woman. An addiction. Codependent, obsession, possession, controlling, has a block, restraint. Yeah, this is releasing blocks. This is about releasing blocks. But what's this? What is this snake thing here? Mask, not showing true feelings, hiding personality, pretending, deluding, gaslighting. Yeah, this is, I mean, look, this is about coming face to face with, again, shadow elements, things that maybe are a bit harder to see, things are maybe a bit harder to understand and work through. Don't forget, we've got Chiron also in retrograde, which is the wounded energy in Aries, which is about to hit my kind of IC, which is my soul. So that's awesome. Not that I've just had Uranus do that and now it's gone into retrograde. It's ease off. Now I've got this. It's never freaking ending. Right, let's have a look. What are you trying to tell me with these cards, Spirit? They just said what you said. So the shadow, this is about bringing up the shadow. This is exactly it. So I've just said it in 15,000 words, but Spirit are like, just bringing up the shadow. Thank you. Where were you earlier? Bringing up the shadow. So all these kind of weird energies that we're feeling in the heart center, it's bringing up the shadow to be released and healed. They're like, well, you weren't pausing, so we just let you talk. My God, they're on form. I'm going to be honest with you. They're so on form today. It just cracks me up. Yeah, look, this is about loving the self here. I like you. Someone likes you. Romance is blooming. Fun, flowing, wants to date. Again, that releasing, bringing that abundance is bringing that person to you. So there's definitely something going on here. But let me get the tarot because I feel like I want to pull some tarot cards right now. This is the, I can't remember what deck. I can't remember what deck this is. It's the, I can't remember. When channeling, I don't, my memory is not in use. I'm afraid. When I channel, it's not in use. Right, what is this? You're obviously trying to get my attention. Someone's trying to get our attention here. That's quite a few cards. This is a healing mission that we've mentioned. So the Nine of Pentacles and the Hermit, obviously this is Virgo energy. This is about the total alignment with self, ready for the next stage, which is obviously Libra, which is balance. All right. This is just before the Ten of Pentacles, which is a massive abundance. This is filling you, filling the self, which is what we've been mentioning. Ready for wish fulfillment, ready for that other partnership. Nine of Cups, right? Okay. So is that all the message, or was it, are you leading me to something else, or what is this? Uh-oh. Wow. Okay, this is interesting. So this is karmic energy. If anyone has got a karmic here, that is, because, and before anyone gets upset, this is, I'm just going to give you the message. It's not up to me to sit and filter out the information. It's me to give it, all right? The devil. Sorry, the way I just jumped into that. The devil. So like everything, there's a polarized energy, light and dark, etc., etc. So there's obviously, oh my God, make me laugh. The devil is Capricorn energy, but it's also addictive behavior patterns. It's essentially Capricorn, which is the depths, you know, lower vibrational energy, things that need to come out to be released, that kind of energy. It's also very karmic, all right? Now, interestingly, we've got the Knight of Wands in the reverse. All right, now upright, this is a bit flaky energy, but it's also passion, but it's in the reverse. So there could have been a codependent, possibly more sexual connection. It's done. The sexual connections run dry, and this feels like a karmic connection, because it feels like someone that was in a relationship that possibly got into a relationship for the wrong reasons, that the passion has totally run out, and it's like a waiting game as to when this is closing out now. This is not going to be for everyone. Wow. This is very fast moving. They want to move towards you. Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, Queen of Wands, Ace of Wands. Now, this is the energy that they want to move towards. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If you are not doing the work, this ain't going to happen. This ain't going to happen. This is the focus. The you, the self, is the focus. And if it isn't, then that other energy is basically going to come in and out. It's not going to stick. Tests are coming. This is what this test energy of what I've just mentioned is about. This is a test. If you haven't figured out what the test is for you, then yeah. There's no direction with this energy at the moment. There's no direction. They haven't healed. How can you expect them, while everyone else is healing in a healing mode, come towards someone and be knowing what they want? This doesn't make any sense, because this is a test. You're meant to be pulling your energy to you now with this connection, this conjunction. Otherwise, the whole pattern of behavior that you've got into before is going to repeat. Chariot reversed with Temperance with the Three of Wands. This is meant as a balancing point. This is not meant for you to jump headfirst into and then question later, because it's a test. If you do, I mean, you, by all means, you choose to do what you choose to do, but it likeliness is it's going to be not happening. Five of Cups, Princess of Cups, disappointment. So the cards are just confirming what I'm saying. So they may come towards you because, again, patterns of behavior and energies that are purging out within them, and they're trying to build a connection because maybe their karmic is not doing that anymore. They'll want to come to you. Not ready. This is not ready yet. So they could come in and confuse you a little bit or give you mixed signals. Messages of passion coming in. This is a message of passion. All right. So don't forget, it's up to you how you want to do this. But if we're in this energy, which is about removing past patterns of behavior to make way for new, and that can include the same person, but in a different energy that they're about to learn. So they may not be ready and they're coming to you rather than healing themselves, and then They're not learning. Ace of Pentacles. So that during we saw the Nine of Pentacles and we're waiting for the Ace to complete and build this legacy, the Ace is not completed yet. This is the Ace. The Ace is formulating. This is the energy we're in at the moment. Nine of Cups. Wish fulfillment. This is giving the energy to self. Investment of the self. This is a message. Yeah, look. This is a passionate message that is coming through. Hello, Kasana. I hope you're doing well. Three of Wands. Future investment. This is about future investment, not now investment because it's not ready. Not ready. Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Not ready. Invest in the self first. Invest in the self first. Nine of Pentacles. Try and look at the patterns of behavior you're in. Yeah. There's something about children here. Something about success around children. Making a decision about children. There's some issue surrounding this person and children at the moment, and there's like a stalemate situation. It's like they're trying to run from out of the frying pan into the frying pan and then dragging you into it. That's how I'm getting it. Just be aware of that energy, especially at the moment. Yeah, look, this person has to heal. Look, Death and Five of Cups. This is about releasing guilt, releasing the energy that I've just spoken about. This is what they need to do, not to come and dump all that on you. All right. So if they come forward, take it, you know, use your gut instincts. Eight of Swords. Yeah, look. Nine of Pentacles with the universe. Someone wants to my God, I'm not saying that. That's such a cheesy way. My God, to like say it like this. I don't know why they're saying it to me like that. Because I never speak like this. They want to lock it down. I can't believe I said that. They want to lock it down. No idea why I'm talking like this. They want to lock it down. Nine of Pentacles with the universe. I'm going to light some incense, guys, because my incense has gone out. If I can find the right incense. Let's do this one. Someone might not be ready. They're going to come forward. I don't know if they're ready. I don't think they are. This person doesn't feel like they're ready. They're probably going to think they're ready. And it's like, lovely. But I'm just hearing teething problems. So just be aware. They're probably going to have a bit of lack of self-awareness. On what incense to use. So I love Nag Champa. That's like my favourite go-to. I love, for protection, Dragon's Blood has always worked very well. But like any incense, if you keep using it, it kind of tends to shift. White sage is always good. Palo Santo is always good, especially if you don't like burning the wood, you know, or you don't like burning, which to be honest with you is starting to kind of make me feel a bit uncomfortable as well. The ones I'm using, Golden Era, I highly recommend Golden Era. Every time I've ever used Golden Era, I feel like I'm transported to a different level of awareness. And anything that has abundant energy to it, like, let's have a look. We've got 7 chakras, you know, dragon's blood, we know. Blessings, sacred ritual. These are the ones that I stick with. Spiritual aura, Nag Champa and dragon's blood though. I use the gold sometimes as well. The golden era or the gold. And this is mystic yoga as well. I've got about 15 million packs of incense. I'm running low on candles though. If anyone wants to, I might add some candles to my Amazon wish list. Right, so yeah, the golden era, I highly recommend golden era. Especially if you're doing readings, I highly recommend golden era. That's like, every time I've used it, I'm like, what the heck is this? It's for some reason. This is out of alignment. Nice. This is Sagittarius energy. So again, this is a rebalance of the galactic center and the south node, which is basically what we've needed to happen for completion. And again, this is very Gemini energy. This is choices. And can you see the blue and the gold, blue and the orange, the masculine and the feminine? So it's like people are becoming aligned. The masculine and feminine with the self is becoming aligned within this energy, as well as obviously unions as well. Okay, I want to get the cosmic reading cards and then we'll close out the reading. Don't forget, tomorrow we're doing Ladies' Night on Twitch, guys. And if you haven't already joined on Twitch, then link is in the description box. So if you haven't already joined, then by all means, it's 11 p.m. British Standard Time tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that we do this, but it's Ladies' Night. All right. Okay. Right, let's pull some final cards here for South Node conjunction, Galactic Center in retrograde, Spirit. What is it we need to be aware of? Thank you. Perfectly demonstrated. This is about the shadow self. So again, can you see the rainbow? They're so clever. They're so clever. They tell me the deck to use because the rainbow's in this shadow self. This is what that heart palpitation energy is, because we're opening up. And again, if you're concerned, then please seek medical advice. However, if you've had extreme medical situations happen to you, I would, if that was me, I'd be looking into shamanic type of energies, because that's very shamanic to go through that. The spiritual sickness is a very well-known shamanic kind of pathway because it's about evolution into a higher energy. But this is the shadow self. It's like we're releasing this shadow energy. The earth is releasing the shadow energy. Again, the 7 chakras of alignment, the 7 colors of the rainbow to open up into the new. So this, you know, this soul star energy that's opening up in the 8th chakra and above, that's bringing us into this 5th dimensional energy. Okay, guys, this was your reading for today. Stay tuned for Gemini's reading that's uploaded in the next few hours. And hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow on our Twitch stream. Again, link in the description box. And yeah, take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Until next time. Bye-bye.